Hey up everyone, welcome back to the Rugby League History channel. Tonight I'm going to be giving you my predictions for round 11 of the 2020 NRL season. So let's get into it now. The first match is going to be on Thursday night and it's between my club Parramatta and the West Tigers. And this game's being played at the Western Sydney Stadium. So last week Parramatta had probably their worst performance of the year. We weren't very good at all, despite the fact only losing by 4 points. And Wests, well, they absolutely smashed Brisbane 48 points to nil at Leichhardt Oval. For this match, I'm going to go for my club for a couple of reasons. First one is because I'm a Parramatta supporter. Second of all, we've got a lot of our players coming back. And thirdly, I think Brad Arthur would have been absolutely fuming after the game last week. He would have tore strips off the players, and I think they'll just do enough to beat West Tigers on Thursday night. The next game is the first match on the Friday, North Queensland up against Manly Warringah, and this match has been played at the Queensland Country Bank Stadium. As we all know, North Queensland have just sacked Paul Green this week, so they've got the interim coach in at the moment, and Manly come off that win against Parramatta. For this particular game, I'm going to go for Manly to win this match. I think they would have got a lot of confidence out last week after beating Parramatta. Although they didn't really play great either, but they kind of showed what they can do if they do put a couple of passes together and they get through a couple of sets, because they put 3 tries on us within the space of 10 minutes. North Queensland is going to be kind of interesting to see how they go under an interim coach, and I think they've still got a couple of players out, so I think Manly will just do enough to beat North Queensland. The next game on Friday night, which is the main match for Friday, is Brisbane against Melbourne. This one's being played at Suncorp Stadium. Brisbane have had the season from hell, and Melbourne's just starting to find their gear. Brisbane have an absolutely horrible record against Melbourne. Horrible. They've only beaten them twice since 2010. And some of the losses that they've had against Melbourne have been some of the heaviest. And I think if they don't show up on Friday night and at least try, this match could be, it could be one of the biggest scores that we've ever seen in Rugby League history. The first match on the Saturday, Super Saturday, is New Zealand up against the Eastern Suburbs. This match has been played at the Central Coast Stadium. New Zealand also haven't had a great year. They've been hot and cold, and East lost against Canberra last week. But if one of the final plays in the match where Ikevalu scored wasn't a forward pass, then who knows, it could have gone to golden point. I think last week was just a blip for East, and I think that they'll beat New Zealand comfortably, so I'm going to go for East to beat New Zealand. The next match on Super Saturday sees Cronulla up against St George, and this one's being played at Cogger Oval, but Cronulla is listed as the home team, so even though it's been St George's home ground since 1950, and Cronulla are ground sharing, they get the home hosting rights for this match, so a bit strange there, like. Cronulla, another team, just like New Zealand and just like West Tigers, been a bit hot and cold this year. And St George have really turned it around over the last 4 to 5 weeks. This is the big rivalry match, big derby game. Plenty of feeling between both clubs, plenty of history. I'm going to go for St George to beat Cronulla. I think with all the attention that's been on Canterbury and New Zealand and Brisbane over the last couple of weeks, it's directed attention away from St George, and I think they've actually been playing alright, so I'm going to go for St George to beat Cronulla. And the final game on Super Saturday sees Canberra against South Sydney, and this one's been played at Bruce Stadium. Canberra had the big win last week in the grand final rematch, and South, they nearly beat Newcastle. They come back in the second half. For this particular game, though, I'm going to go for Canberra as the home team. I think they would have gained a lot of confidence after last week. although South probably would have gained some confidence as well. They showed people what they could do in the last 10 to 15 minutes there, if they actually did the plays right and they applied themselves, because they scored, I think it was 3 tries in about 10 minutes. I'm pretty sure that they would have got some hope and some confidence out of that, but I think Canberra will just have a bit too much of them on Saturday night. The next game, the first match on Sunday, is Newcastle against Canterbury Bankstown. This one's been played at Marathon Stadium. Canterbury have lost their coach, Dean P. He quit midweek. And also with Newcastle, they had the win over South, although the coach would have been absolutely fuming how the game ended. He would have wanted the match to have been shut out a long time ago, but they let South back into the match. I'm going to go for Newcastle to win this game. I think that they'll probably win this match 13 plus. I don't really see much hope for Canterbury in this match. And the final match to close out the round is the Gold Coast up against Penrith. I'm going to go for Penrith in this match to beat the Gold Coast at Seabo Super Stadium. I think Penrith's playing really well at the moment. Even last week against North Queensland, even though they didn't start off great, you can always tell the good teams or the teams in form, they always find a way to win. And they did against North Queensland. And the Gold Coast have been pretty much shite for the whole year, although I think that they've improved significantly over last year. They've still got a long way to go, but I think on a whole, if you're a Gold Coast fan, you can probably see that they have improved a bit. At least they're winning the occasional game, as opposed to last year where they won out. So that's me tips for round 11 of the NRL 2020 season. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, click that like button. If you're enjoying the content that I'm making, click that subscribe button and share the video with your friends and family. As always, everyone, I'll catch you all later. Enjoy your Wednesday, wherever you are, and I'll see you all later. Alright, ta-ra.